Well, of course, the Nssf board chairman, Honorable David Kariuku Njero, has reflected on 6 decades of Nssf's transformative role in Kenya's social protection journey, from its evolution into a semi-autonomous powerhouse to leading inclusive development. The chairman outlined the fund's strategic focus and bold path forward.
This is not just another NGM, but a day that all of us gather together to celebrate the 60 years of Nssf's existence. As we celebrate our 60th year since inception, ladies and gentlemen, this milestone gives us a timely moment to reflect, reimagine, and recommit ourselves to the agenda of innovation, inclusivity, and sustainable growth to support dignified livelihoods for workers upon exit from service. Nssf has been a pillar of national development and a beacon of social protection in Kenya since 1965. The fund has come a long way from a state department within the parent ministry to a semi-autonomous state corporation and the leading retirement benefit scheme, advancing financial security for millions of Kenyan workers. Across 6 decades of economic and policy transitions, Nssf has grown an enduring ability to adapt, recalibrating its mandate to be in harmony with the national aspirations of the people, the global development agenda, and most importantly, the changing needs of Kenyan workers. This evolution is not just institutional. In our view, it is philosophical. Of course, anchored in the fact that the social security is not a privilege, but a right and a bedrock of inclusive development. The fund's strategic plan 2023-2027, that as I've said, we launched sometime last year, and which is being well implemented by our management staff, is not just a roadmap. It is our clear statement of intent. This places the fund at the center of the socio-economic transformation of Kenya through aligning its activities to 1, Kenya Vision 2030 and the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. 2, the African Union's Agenda 2063. 3, the East African Community Vision 2050. The fund's strategic agenda is not just one of institutional growth. We go, of course, beyond this. It is one of shared prosperity. And allow me to, at this particular time, say, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I'm extremely proud that our strategy prioritizes financial inclusion, well, of course, explained by our MT, which is well outlined in our intentional outreach to the informal sector, the informal economy, women, youth, and refugees. He has talked about the hapa and a lot, of course, happening in that particular area. As a national social security fund, Nssf also plays the role of a financial catalyst that well explained through development of domestic capital in the long term to support in the national capital and the infrastructure and supporting social equity and resilience. By innovating financial products like the Hapa savings scheme, continued integration with digital platforms such as financial institutions and cooperation with development partners, we are breaking down barriers to participation. We are enabling dignified livelihoods, post-active service for every Kenyan at any income level and from any location. In just the past year, we have celebrated significant milestones, which have already been well explained by our MT, talking about the 3 big things. We are talking about enhanced contributions, growth of the fund value, enhanced access channels, improving transparency and convenience. Number 4 is reduction in turnaround time for payment of the benefits. Number 5 is reduction of administrative costs to the fund value. That has already been explained, that we already have moved from around 3.7 to the current 1.72. And as projected, of course, by the end of this year, and we are fully convinced that it is actually achievable, we expect to be at 1.5% of the fund value. Very, very possible. It's doable. We have strengthened stakeholder engagement with the establishment of a robust governance and accountability structure. But our real success is not measured, ladies and gentlemen, which the managing trustee has properly presented. It is in lives made better and the futures made, of course, more secure. As a board of trustees, we are mindful, extremely mindful, of the challenges ahead to maintain the growth trajectory of this great fund. This, of course, includes coming up with investment strategies that, of course, report agility, well, of course, set by our MT. It is, of course, just found a report that balances between capital preservation and competitive returns to, of course, members. He has told you what we are looking at. We are moving away from 1 digit to double digit. And we mean business. We really mean business. Moving forward, and we have, of course, shared this in the board quite extensively, that we are not, of course, considering the level of our investments, going to entertain anything that falls short of a 2-digit declaration. It's doable. We have the resources. We have the leadership that is able to do that. We don't have any reason why we should not have that kind of report made every year. It's doable. It is achievable. Continued innovation in provision of products and savings incentives necessary to increase coverage to the informal sector that is still lagging behind. Fast-paced technological change that requires a constant adaptation and upgrading of ICT infrastructure to secure members' funds. This is an area that we are very keen on. Technology, is everything in today's fast-paced world of business. Of course, we agree there has been a small problem, but now we have engaged the right gears as far as this particular area is concerned. High-level investment is what we are talking about. We want Nssf to compete quite favorably. We want Nssf to be mentioned quite favorably in our region and beyond as far as ICT application is concerned. As stewards of a national trust, we must meet this moment with clarity, conviction, and collaboration. As a board of trustees, we are definitely dedicated to steering the fund with integrity, strategic foresight, and inclusiveness. And as far as leadership is concerned, just like Lemtia said, very transformative, very strategic, and in our thinking and in our agreement, we agreed that leadership must be one that acts, that thinks, that acts, that influences people and institutions positively. That is where we are. That the kind of strategic leadership we are talking about at Nssf is one that thinks, that acts, that will influence people and institutions positively. We will also raise our voice in policy dialogues at local, regional, and global levels to contribute to a future in which social security systems are resilient, impactful, and inclusive. Finally, to our CS office, who is working in shortly, thank you for always being there for us. We are grateful for honoring us with your presence today. To our esteemed members, thank you for trusting us with your future. To our partners and stakeholders, we are stronger, definitely, when we work together, and we value your continued commitment and partnership.